AITA for unfriending my best friend and sending a mean message. After her cousin accused me of messing with her money? Note, English is not my first language. I used AI so that the story would make sense. A18F used to be best friends with a girl. We'll call her Leprechaun 18F. For years, I was the friend who always showed up. If she needed someone, I was there no matter what I was dealing with or how inconvenient it was for me. So let me give you some background on the kind of person she is and all the questionable things she's done in the past. Multiple people warned me that being friends with her was a bad idea. They told me she was controlling, judgmental, and draining. I never listened. I always defended her because I wanted to believe our friendship meant something. But she was always difficult. She constantly shifted her identity labels. 1 week she's bisexual, week she's transgender, the week after that she's gender fluid, etc. Judged anyone who didn't immediately adapt to whatever she claimed she was that week. And anytime I said I'm straight, she gave me a dismissive just for now in a condescending tone. It made me uncomfortable, but I swallowed it to avoid conflict. One thing that I will never forget about Leprechaun is how she bragged about breaking up a couple back when she was in grade 9. The couple she interfered with were in grade 12 minus 18 and 19 years old, and she was only 15. They were a lesbian couple. And instead of feeling any guilt or shame, she was proud of what she did. She talked about it like it was funny or impressive that she caused drama in a serious relationship. Honestly, it showed me early on that she had no boundaries and no respect for other people's relationships. Another thing was her complete lack of hospitality. Every time I went to her house, it felt like unpaid labor. Even if it wasn't a sleepover, even if I came in the morning just to hang out, it was almost expected that I help her wash dishes, clean her room, tidy up the house, whatever she needed. Coming from an Indian household, that was crazy to me. If you're having a guest over, you clean the day before so your guest can relax. That's basic respect. But with her, I felt like a housemaid instead of a friend. She also had this pattern where every single guy friend she had, she'd either want to date or start doing sexual things with. She has zero boundaries. And she has what I can only describe as dating urgency. She'd meet a guy and be in a relationship literally 2 days later. She's been like this since private school. Everything was always rushed, dramatic, messy, and impulsive. One incident I'll never forget was back in primary school. One of her friends had just broken up with her boyfriend, her first boyfriend ever, and instead of being supportive, Leprechaun immediately went up to her and asked, "Is it okay if I flirt with your ex-boyfriend?" But the way she said it wasn't an actual question. Her tone made it clear she wasn't asking for permission. She was just trying to stir something up or annoy the girl. She knew they had history, she knew it was fresh, and she still didn't care. When my current best friend and I were still close to her, we basically acted like her therapists. Every time she had a problem, something at home, drama with her boyfriend, school issues, she'd run to us. We always gave her advice, tried to help, tried to guide her. And she never listened, not once. She just kept repeating the same mistakes again and again, then coming back to us to complain. She's also switched friend groups constantly because she couldn't keep a stable friendship. No one could deal with her because she's so self-centered, jealous, and judgmental. The only friend she has now is another girl at our school who nobody likes either, so honestly, they're a perfect match for each other. They function well together because no one else wants their energy. And the only reason her current relationship is lasting is because her boyfriend is basically a puppy dog. He's one of those guys where, if you say come, he comes. If you say jump, he asks how high there. Was also another incident at school, where on Valentine's she saw other girls getting flowers from their boyfriends and she told him he needed to get her flowers as well, so he had to use his money and buy the expensive roses that they were selling at school for her. He never stands up for himself and lets her walk all over him. She can do whatever she wants, however she wants, and he just accepts it. He's the perfect person for her because he allows her to get away with everything without consequences. On top of all that, she was extremely jealous. She treated me like I belonged to her because I was her only friend. Meanwhile, I had other friends and she hated that. We ended up in different math classes, and mine had girls I used to be very close to. Since she wasn't there, I naturally reconnected with them. We laughed together, sat together, talked like old times. One day after class, we were all walking out laughing and Leprechaun was waiting for me. When I walked over, she gave me this disgusted, judgmental look, like she was offended that I dared to enjoy myself with anyone who wasn't her. I ignored it. But not long after, when I was at her house, she suddenly burst into tears and told me she didn't like that I had other friends. She said I was her only friend and she didn't like sharing me. It felt suffocating and unfair. Then she got a boyfriend and overnight, she replaced me completely. Her whole personality became him. She ignored me unless it was convenient for her. The breaking point was when I really needed her. Things were bad at home and I asked if I could come over. She told me she was busy. I didn't question it. The next day, she accidentally revealed she wasn't busy at all. She went on a boat ride with her boyfriend and his family. She lied to me while I was struggling. After that, I pulled away from the friendship, quietly. No fight. No drama while we were still friends. She had asked me to log her Gmail account into my tablet so I could play Minecraft with her. Her cousin will call Minion 17F had bought the game. After we stopped being friends, I deleted Minecraft. But I completely forgot her Gmail was still on the device. Keep in mind, I've never had a problem with Minion. She's a nice girl and we got along great. The problems only started now after she sent her message months later. Out of nowhere, both Leprechaun and Minion texted me. Here are the exact messages they sent. Leprechaun, hi, my name, it's Leprechaun. I wanted to ask if you could please remove your tablet from my Google account, please. I find it unnecessary that it's still linked to your tablet and I'd like for you to remove it as soon as possible, please, and delete the Minecraft Minion bot. Thanks, have a nice day further. Late, hey? I bought Minecraft that you have on your tablet, that you got off of Leprechaun's account. It's my money you are messing with. Please remove Leprechaun's account. With the Minecraft, their tone felt accusatory, like I was doing something shady or intentionally messing with their stuff, even though I hadn't touched that account since the friendship ended, and I had deleted the game ages ago. It felt like they were ganging up on me for no reason, and not long after, I found out that Leprechaun renamed my tablet to Stupid Cunt. So I'm planning on sending my own messages to them for Leprechaun. Your account is still on my tablet and I'll be taking it off today. It's been sitting there untouched for a year, so I'm not sure why it suddenly became so important. Honestly, it just comes across like you're trying to get some attention over something that never even mattered. Considering you had ample time to tell me to take it off. As for the name you changed my tablet to, my mom will be speaking to your mom about that. It was inappropriate and I think it's best handled by them. I'm in the middle of my NSE exams, final exams in SAW, and focusing on distinctions. So I really don't have the time or energy to get caught up in unnecessary back and forth. I'll take your account off so this can be the end of whatever you were trying to start. I'd rather put my attention toward things that actually matter right now. For Minion, I'm removing her account from my tablet. I don't want anything connected to her anymore. I haven't touched her account. I haven't used Minecraft and I deleted it a long time ago. It's really not that deep. What I do find interesting is how quickly you stepped in to defend her, considering you might not know her as well as you think you do. Before coming to me with accusations, it might be worth taking a closer look at how she speaks about the people around her when they're not there. Especially after that day we all played D&D together, her attitude when you left was eye-opening. I always thought you and I were friends until you sent that message, and just to be clear, Leprechaun was the one who wanted to install it on my tablet. Acting like I stole her account or your game isn't fair or accurate. So please stop assuming things and turning something so small into an issue. I'm removing the account today, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the end of it. So, would I be the a-hole for sending these messages? Top commenter said, you're giving them way too much of the drama they're craving. People like that live on drama. They need it. The more you say, the more they can twist your words and become the victim. The worst thing you can do to them isn't a mean message, but apathy. Drama llamas wither from apathy. Reply back with 2 words to Leprechaun. Account remove. Say nothing to Minion. She's trying to shove her way into the drama. Don't let her. Block and move on.
Moving on to our next story.
You give me an unwanted midnight concert. I give you an unwanted wake-up call. So this is a story from back in 2009-10. I was an undergrad at a small state college. Lovely campus, rural. Beautiful, but getting to Class East was a bit of a challenge because it was extremely hilly. Borderline mountainous. With the dorms up at the top of the hill, you had to either make sure you had all your things prepared for the day or you would be running back up to collect the things you needed, and if you had back-to-back classes, that was simply not going to happen without you being very late. After a day of moving between classes, most people were pretty tired just on the merits of walking up and down hills all day without even considering the classes in addition. Not directly relevant to the story, but important for framing. I was in the same dorm room all 4 years and ended up having 3 different roommates. The first didn't return for the second semester of the first year. Second year roommate as never showed up at all. Third year roommate and I got along well, but he joined the on-campus M team, and they had dorms for those folks elsewhere, leaving me with a new guy and the subject of this petty revenge story. Seemed like an alright guy when I first met him. He was an exchange student from the Netherlands and I thought that was pretty cool. because I had not had many opportunities to meet people from other parts of the world. It became apparent pretty quickly, however, that we were not very compatible. I was and am pretty introverted, mostly kept to myself and did my own thing. Spent plenty of time playing video games, usually wearing earphones to avoid disturbing others, or being disturbed myself. He, on the other hand, clearly came to get the college experience and went out a lot to do whatever he cared to do. To be very clear, there is nothing wrong with this. Where I'm screwed up was that he constantly returned to the room late with friends, and often put on music while they talked, usually at or around midnight and into the wee hours of the morning. Multiple times I would be woken up and asked them, respectfully, if they could turn down the music or go elsewhere when it is the middle of the night and I am trying to sleep. Usually got blank stares but begrudgingly compliance. Problem solved? Well, not really, because this pattern repeated almost every night and it stopped being a minor disturbance and became a constant source of annoyance. I was more of a morning person at the time. I woke up at 435th, packed my stuff for the day, and then went down to the gym to get my day started. I tried very hard not to be disruptive to any of my roommates during my undergrad years. Tried to be quick to turn off the alarm. Avoided turning on lights as much as possible and generally tried to be courteous. Because I understand wanting to sleep and not wanting to be bothered when you are sleeping. Despite M's constant disruptions, I did my best to continue to be courteous. But my patience at the end of that first semester of my final year was about shot. While I recovered a little over the winter break, it became clear upon M's return that he was not going to be doing any better and in many ways got worse. More people, louder music. After the first month of the new semester, I was about to lose my cool. I was having to tell M to be quiet most nights, and I was to the point that I was not being polite about it anymore. Finally, my breaking point arrived. M had been particularly loud and disruptive the night before. I just ignored it, but come morning he was going to feel my pain. Alarm goes off. I get up, but I do not turn it off. I had a stereo that I used as speakers from my computer. Pull up my music and turn it on loud. Loud enough that there was no way anyone in the room could ignore it, but hopefully not enough to disturb people in other rooms. No one else complained at least, and I start getting ready for my day loudly. All the lights in the room are on. Drawers and doors being opened and closed with absolutely no regard for the other person trying to sleep as I banged through the apartment like the police looking for the stash of drugs. M turned over to ask me to keep it quiet. I stared him right in the eyes and said nothing. I basically dared him to have the gall to explain to me why what I was doing was wrong, while his behavior had been okay. After a few seconds of awkward silence, he must have realized that I didn't care, and that he didn't have a leg to stand on, so he rolled over, pulled the blanket over his head, and just endured it. I finished getting ready. Finally shut off the alarm music. Shut off the lights, and with a final slam of the dorm door, I move on with my day. I never discussed the incident with him, but he clearly got the message because he was very respectful. For the last couple of months, he made sure to wear headphones and to come and go at night, while I was sleeping as quietly as possible, and we had no further problems. It is disappointing that someone would need that much of a wake-up call, pun intended, to not be a when you are living in shared living space. Them is a tool. Don't be M, or you might get a rude awakening. Edited to fix minor grammar mistakes.
Support me by following and subscribing. Thanks.